Oh, I can't spit my gum out.
Holy beans, bro. Why was it so high up?
I just hit Walt's car.
Why
Why are you putting it on the... What are you... Leave it off of that. What are you doing? Now it's both. Dual means you can control your side.
Well, it's freaking hot. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in here. Nope, it's fine.
Alright.
I thought you were going to
No.
squeeze it for me.
What do you think this is, the Hilton? Alright.
Your thing's beeping.
That means that I'm going to run over somebody.
If you had gunned it out a lot faster, it would be funny.
It's just Charlie.
Also, I want to point out really quick that Lewis spit his gum out in front of Walt's car where somebody might be walking, so it could get stuck to their feet.
All right, welcome in, Curtis. Great to have you on the car.
Glad to be here.
So you are currently our what is your title currently?
Catch-all. No, I'm just kidding. Campus Minister.
Campus Minister at Auburndale specifically.
Yes.
So you essentially do probably everything at the Auburndale campus, with the exception of preaching on Sunday mornings.
Correct.
Okay.
I've only done that once.
How long have you been doing that?
Officially full-time 1 year.
Okay, right on.
Just over. I went on full-time last July at the beginning of it.
All right. So where did you come from before Auburndale? Like, how did you get to our church?
I was working at Camp Gilead in Polk City, and I was an intern there. And one of the staff members at Camp Gilead was coming here when it was still church at the mall, so I started coming, and have been here since. I mean, I've been coming to the church for like 5 years now, and I've been on staff for almost 4.
I'm pretty sure the first memory, I don't know if you remember this, that I have of you specifically is playing ping pong with you in the college room. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, someone who is incredibly loud and obnoxious and is good at ping pong, we're going to be best friends. And it turned out to be the case.
I don't think I was incredibly loud and obnoxious then. It's probably been within recent 6 to 8 months that I've lost all inhibition.
No. 6 to 8 months?
Dude,
Curtis,
I've become reckless here recently.
Well, I'm just excited that you're going to be here for years, hanging out at our church, at the Auburndale campus specifically. So, I'm sorry, what? Is that for real?
Yeah.
Freaking idiot.
They just announced it like a week ago.
Oh my gosh, you're so stupid.
Okay, so you're transitioning. What if that's how I talk crud? Alright, so you're transitioning from this church to a church in Panama City. What's the name of that church?
City Church.
Okay. So walk us through how you process transitioning. Like, how did you know it was time to transition, or how did you know even this place specifically was a spot for you to land?
It was a very difficult process because I've been here in Central Florida for roughly 5 years. Been working here for almost 4 years, and this has been my first full-time ministry job. Everywhere else, I've been an intern, so transitioning was easy, and it was almost expected. Like interns, maybe a year or so, and then they dip.
Yeah.
But for this one, it was obviously different because full-time job at a church where, for some reason, people love me. And then also coming off of the tail end of J-Rod leaving, who's when J-Rod leaves, people notice. Everybody was devastated. Not in a bad way, but they were just happy for him, but they were all sad to see him go. So bringing that into play, bringing in all the relationships that I've built down here and gained, and my relationship with Dakota, who I started dating just earlier this year, all of that stuff kind of played in to make it a super difficult decision. Because J-Rod told me on a Monday that he was transitioning out, and then that same Thursday I got a call from the church and they were offering me the job. So that sucked.
Yeah.
And then that Sunday I got another job offer from a ministry in Winter Haven. So that sucked. And it was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Well, it's encouraging because, like, it just validates the growth that you've made in ministry as God's called you to ministry. But at the same time, it's never easy to leave or transition out of something. The timing is always obviously tough with J-Rod, but I mean, ultimately God's going to provide no matter who's leaving when.
Mm-hmm. So as I was like processing all that stuff, I was like, okay, so what am I going to do? And I talked with you, I talked with Shauna, and I was just kind of looking for wisdom and advice because I was literally at a loss because I've never transitioned anywhere, like at this capacity, you know, full-time pastoral with leadership and leaving. So I was looking for wisdom, trying to figure out what to do, and totally at a loss, losing sleep, my blood pressure spiked. It was awful. You might say that all the crappy food that I eat is why my blood pressure spiked, but I don't think that was it. I'm a pretty healthy person.
That's been consistent even before the transition.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I eat like garbage all the time. Yeah. So it just spiked after everything fell apart, so why would it be anything else?
It's a good thing we're going where we're going.
Oh, yeah.
So, all of that was difficult. It was a struggle. And as I was processing all of it, I mean, it was kind of like a month-long process to finally get to, a month and a half to finally get to a decision. Mm-hmm. Because as I was talking with people, I was like, okay, J-Rod just left, so I didn't really know how to handle it, to be honest with you. I was just like, who do I tell and who do I talk to about this? Because literally everything's shifting around me. Because I don't know what Auburndale is going to look like if I need to take, or if I'm going to be asked to take more responsibility there. I don't know what, I'm going to definitely be asked to take more responsibility at City Church, and I'd be asked to take a different set of responsibility at FX if I were to go there. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to do.
So how did God play into the mix of that, like in your decision-making process, how you sought him, like to seek his will? I mean, we got college students that are trying to walk through that just in their own lives. How did you process through that throughout this transition?
Definitely digging into God's Word. It's kind of like J-Rod said, if you're looking for God's will, you have to look in God's Word. Yeah. You can't really say, oh, I'm making a decision to glorify God if you're not leaning into Him. Yeah. So that was an aspect. But then I also had different relationships that I'd already built, accountability, people that I could talk to for wisdom. So I dug into God's Word first and foremost, but I also asked people who knew me well, knew kind of what my gifts are, my talents, and saying like, hey, these are the opportunities that I have offered to me. What do you see being the best fit logically? And just not necessarily telling me what to do, but just like, man, do you think this is something that I could do, or am I just fooling myself? Yeah. So people that have been put in my life for accountability's sake, and then also just digging into His Word. But that's digging into His Word was a more important one.
Yeah.
So Curtis, what would you say is your most embarrassing thing that's happened to you while you were here, ministerially speaking? Not necessarily like running around outside doing something dumb, but like in church, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
So I was helping this gentleman get to a hotel room. Reason's not important, but I'm walking him through and helping him bring his stuff up to his room. And as we are, and I'm going to try to make this as appropriate as possible.
That'd be helpful.
But as we're walking to his room, or actually as we were going to the ice machine to get him ice, we're walking down the hallway, and there's no way around it in explaining it, but just an absolute, like a moan came out of the room. And totally caught me off guard. And immediately I'm uncomfortable. Like, wouldn't you be uncomfortable, honestly?
Yeah.
Like, that's not good. This gentleman thought, is she all right? I think she called out for help. I was like, I don't think she's calling out for help. I don't think that's what it is. And what it ended up being was the obvious. Was a couple getting their jollies in the room. And it was the most embarrassed I've ever been. Because I was like, how do I handle this? This gentleman thinks it's that. Like, it's not that. The dude knocked on the door to ask if she was all right. And I was like, no, stop. Stop, don't do that. But literally the most uncomfortable situation I've ever been in my entire life. Because I knew what was going on. This dude should have known what's going on because, you know, he was older gentleman. Like, I don't know how I found myself in that situation, but that's literally the most embarrassed I've ever been because that's not where I ever thought I would be. God. Helping somebody is definitely where I thought I would be. Helping somebody and hearing that is definitely not where I thought I would be. I was uncomfortable. But that was probably the absolute most embarrassing thing that I've ever experienced in my entire life.
In your entire life. Now, forget ministry versus not ministry, like your entire life.
Yeah, I was so incredibly uncomfortable. But it makes for a good story. So
that definitely is a great story. All right. You know what's going to make this conversation so much better, so much sweeter? A delicious pile of food.
Get some crystals.
Welcome to Crystals, my friend.
This place looks closed.
It probably is.
There's nobody here. Ooh, banana pudding.
Let's see what we got
It's
here.
open.
Is it really?
It looks like it. Why would it not be?
Bro, there's literally nobody in the drive-thru.
Oh, except for that guy right there.
Person right.
PT loser.
All right. I don't think I've ever been here.
Just get the 4 crustals.
That sounds disgusting.
Can I just get a shake?
Yeah, that's fine. You can get whatever you want.
Can I have an Oreo shake?
Could I get an Oreo milkshake, please?
Oreo milkshake?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, anything else?
Can I do the pick 5 for $5.99?
Alright. Anything else? Okay.
I'm going to have a Crystal, a
Okay.
corn pup.
Okay, do you want pick 5?
Yes.
Is that the pick
Alright.
5?
Oh, crap. Actually, no. I'm just going to do a Crystal and a pup. A corn pup and a Crystal. That's it.
Alright. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, so we're good to go.
Thank you.
Want some more hand sandy?
She literally heard that and made a face. You gross piece of garbage. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't even get a drink.
Just ask for an ice water.
Jeez.
I think that's you. I heard Tim got something.
Oh, that's you.
They're so tiny.
Thank you very much. You too.
You're a fool, bro.
So, would you eat crystals consistently, Curtis? Like,
Define consistent.
like once a week. If money was not an object.
It's so cheap.
Honestly, I don't know. Because it's literally right next to the door to the church right now. And I don't eat it. So I think crystals is pretty good, personally.
Crystal,
Okay.
1 crystal. There's no S in the name.
I'm sorry, are we interviewing you?
There is an S in the name. Chris.
Idiot. So anyways, I don't know that I would eat it once a week. Because,
That's essentially a corn dog.
dude, that looks rough.
I don't want to eat it.
No, you have to.
I know. With ketchup? They didn't even put mustard in here?
Who puts mustard on a corn dog?
Are you the dumbest person?
Did I just offend you?
No, that's the only thing you put on a corn dog. Can't back me up.
I like mustard on corn dog.
Ooh. That's what I'm
But is that
saying.
the only thing you can put on a corn dog? Because that's what he said.
No.
It's the first time I've ever had a corn dog.
And the last, probably.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'll have a corn dog for sure. I love corn dogs. All right.
Hey.
I'm gonna eat some chicken strips.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, Curtis. How do you feel that you've grown since coming to Auburndale campus, coming as a part of the team? Just as a minister, as a person, like, talk to me about the growth that you've experienced being here.
I feel like I've grown in being a genuine person, in that I try to be pretty similar everywhere I go. I'm probably, like when I'm teaching, I may use different vocabulary versus when I'm cutting up with different people. But just because I'm using different vocabulary doesn't mean that I'm not an idiot on the stage. So, pretty similar on and off the stage. I learned to be more genuine. I learned to be more discerning with my humor. While that may not sound like it's believable, I have become far more discerning with, like, okay, that's probably not a good joke to say. It's kind of like the flow chart that Kent has. You have to roll through, like, man,
It's a very simple flow chart. Should I say this? Typically, the answer is no. That's it. That's a flow chart.
That is wisdom right there.
So,
if you have to ask, should I say this? The answer is no.
Yeah.
All right, I respect that.
yeah, if you gotta think twice, yeah, just go ahead and err against it.
I respect that.
The problem is you have to get to the point where you think twice about it, because oftentimes you shoot from the hip, and that can get you into trouble. But I've gotten to the point now where I've caught myself so many times that shooting from the hip is actually not that bad anymore. It's kind of like an acceptable level of humor.
I respect that.
So, learn to be more discerning, learn to be more genuine, learn to be more patient with people, because in a pastoral role, or just as a Christ follower in general, you deal with a lot of people, and you deal with a lot of people who may get on your nerves. That's none of the Auburndale campus people. No, Auburndale's super sweet. But you just deal with people who get on your nerves, so you have to be patient with people and love them well. And whenever, like, I think of going on the Miami trip, where, you know, the room stinks because it's full of people who aren't taking showers. We all stink because we're working all day, and you're running on zero energy. Same thing with camp. Like, you're just running on no energy, and it's hot, and it's so easy to fall into a mindset of sinfulness and fall into a mindset of, like, reacting poorly to people. And I've learned to be more patient in that, so that I don't sin against God by acting out in anger towards people.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that I've learned. Trying to think, is there anything else?
I'm sure it's tough to hold in your frustration when you're marinating in a sea of middle school boy BO.
Dude, if you could smell those rooms during Miami, you were there, right, Kent?
That was awful.
It was like walking. It was almost like they had smeared fecal matter on the walls, and it was just there.
Yeah.
Like, it was just there. There's no escaping. It was just always there.
It's just like deodorant was invented for a reason.
Clean your hot spots. That's all you gotta do. And put some Dio on it. Clean your hot spots and put some Dio on it.
All right. I respect that. All right, Curtis, would you consider yourself a mama's boy?
In some ways, yes.
In
other
what ways?
no. I guess it depends on what I'm going through at the moment. Like, there are times where I call my mom and say, "Hey, Mom, this is what's going on. I don't know that I'm asking you for advice, but I just want you to be in the loop." And then there are times where I don't call my mom for like 2 weeks. And I don't ask her anything. So I'm a mama's boy, depending on the situation. Like, for sure, mama's boy this week because she's coming to help me move. And then anytime she comes in town, she cleans and she cooks for me. So 100% a mama's boy. And when I go in town, like, there's times where I'll bring dirty clothes.
So she can do your laundry?
Well, like, not so she can do it, but I know she will.
so she can do your laundry.
So there's a chance that you're bringing your dirty clothes just to take them back to your house?
Well, like, so here's what happens. You obviously run out of clothes at some point.
Not you. Like you. Not me.
Obviously, you run out of clothes at some point if you don't do laundry. That's a universal truth.
Yeah. I respect
So
that.
there's times where I'm like, oh man, I'm going on a trip towards Panama City, and there's that pile, like my pile of clean clothes is significantly lacking. And
Like
my
how
pile
you
of
say
dirty
it's
clothes.
a pile of clean clothes and not just clothes in a drawer or in a closet somewhere.
Doesn't everybody have piles?
I
That's
used
not how
to.
it works.
Until I got
Dude,
married.
so my couch is the pile. Like I just throw it, like I'll take it out of the dryer and I'll throw it onto the couch.
And you don't even fold it?
Why?
Because it's gonna get wrinkly.
That's what the dryer's for.
Oh my
You
goodness.
just throw it back in there and it's fine. Pop. You're good.
And it's kind of fresh. Put
Yeah.
a couple dry sheets in there.
Dude, you're really lacking every single day because you aren't doing what I'm doing.
Sorry, my couch doesn't have a pile of clothes on it. 24/7.
Yeah, you
And then
slob.
like another thing is the pile of clothes makes a great place. You know how like sometimes your pillow's too much so it makes your head like you get a crick in your neck or something like that? A pile of clothes, you can just shift out a couple of socks and you'll be good.
Oh, so you sleep on your...
Well, no, like I'm not saying I sleep on it all the time, but it's possible. And then you're like, oh, but Curtis, you'd wrinkle them up. You just pop them in the dryer for 10 minutes with some dryer sheets and you're good.
Or
Wait, do you sleep on your clean clothes on your couch or on your bed?
Clean clothes never hit the bed.
Only the dirty clothes do.
Clothes in general don't hit the bed.
Okay.
Like that's where I sleep. That's a little ridiculous.
Okay.
I remember the first time I ever came to your house, I actually folded your laundry
That was your choice. That
because
wasn't
I
mine.
couldn't stand the idea of there being just a pile of clean clothes that are not folded.
Well, don't come to my house now.
Well, I can't because you live like 6 hours away.
Not yet. Because there's clothes in the dryer, and there's also clothes on the couch.
So you take your clothes to Panama City when you visit your mom so that she can wash your clothes for you.
Sometimes. The last time I went, I washed my own clothes. I had them folded in my bag, and then I brought them home and I cleaned them again.
You took your dirty clothes to Panama City. You washed your own clothes.
No.
You folded your own clothes.
I actually had clean clothes this time to bring up there.
Oh, okay.
There have been times where I'm running low on clothes. My clean clothes pile is significantly lacking.
All right, let me ask you a question. Serious question. I need you to be 100% honest with me. Have you ever bought clothes because you ran out of clean clothes?
No.
That's just me then.
I guess.
I don't do that now, but I used to do that.
You would just do laundry?
No, I was already at Walmart. I'm like, I'm just going to go grab a shirt or something.
No, never done that. That's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine the idiot that would do that?
Dum dum.
What's one of your sweetest memories at the Auburndale campus specifically?
I would have to say it was probably the first time I baptized somebody. We had a outdoor baptism day, and it was right after camp, so there's a few students who felt led to be baptized. We talked with them, and that Sunday was a Sunday they all picked, or that we kind of pushed them to because it would have been, hey, we're already doing it, so just come on.
Yeah.
Because at Auburndale, it was harder to do baptisms because I think at that point we were in the gym already, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have a baptistry in there. So we did it outside, had the portable one going around. And Brooke Dismeek was my first baptism, and she almost ate it while she was getting into the baptistry. Because she stepped into it, immediately slipped, and almost baptized herself. And she's like, boom! Hit, like, it was so fun.
Did you catch her? Did you, like, save her?
Well, I had her hand. I was like,
Oh, okay.
Man.
Okay.
So I kind of gripped it tighter as she fell. But she didn't fall all the way in, so I still got to baptize her. But it was probably one of the sweetest memories I had.
That's awesome.
Because it was first baptism. It was hilarious because she almost died. And,
It's like a
Classic.
4-foot pool, right?
yeah. Hey, you can drown in like 8 inches of water, Ken.
Okay.
I think my head's too big. Well, maybe if I did it sideways. Why do you think that of all, if you were to take sort of a general population count of Lakeland in general, why do you think that you have been labeled as the grossest person on the planet?
It was coming. I knew that was what you're going to ask me, you piece of garbage.
Why do you think that you have been labeled that? Is it unfair?
Yes.
Why? Help me understand why
The system is rigged.
The system is?
Yeah. Because it doesn't account for all people in Lakeland. You don't know everybody in Lakeland. You don't know how nasty people are in Lakeland.
That's true.
So to tell me that I'm the grossest implies that you've met everybody in Lakeland, which you have not.
What if someone were to have changed the narrative to say, I think you're the grossest person I've met in Lakeland? Would you be okay with that? Would that make you feel a little bit better?
No. That's still not good. Like, that's not fair to me. I'm not gross. You yourself said that Jenny was the grossest person. That was like a week into him getting here. And you already changed it.
I'd like to exercise my Fifth Amendment rights.
Jenny, he thinks you're nasty. You said it. You told it to him. He knows.
Curtis, thank you so much for hanging out with us. No, seriously. As much as we joke around and make fun of each other constantly, pretty much the entirety of our relationship, it's us making fun of each other or having serious conversations about God or our lives. It's gonna be hard to see you go, Curtis. We like you a lot, and you've done quite a bit for our church, the Auburndale campus specifically, but for our students even before the Auburndale campus, working in the student ministry. So there will be a massive, enormous Curtis-sized hole in our hearts when you leave. And
That was not a fat joke.
no, not at all. And then I guess once you leave, then it's true that I will have the meatiest hands on staff.
I don't have the meatiest hands, period.
Agree to disagree.
No.
All right, Curtis, this has been fun. You're a beautiful human being. We're going to do a quick little sign-off. Okay?
So, Curtis, I heard you like to go fishing. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, I like fishing.
All right, well, next time you catch a big old trout, don't forget, you just got taked out.
Boop, but it did.
Stupid, man.
All right, well.